Hey, welcome back. In this lesson, what we're going to take a look at is the game that the dreamer plays when he's out in time and space as the ego. This is really important because if we can understand this, then we can start to appreciate our own behavior and also the behavior of all those others who are out in our lives. Okay, so when we get down here into time and space, obviously we unconsciously believe that there is going to be this punishment waiting for us in the unconscious mind. In the previous video, we mentioned that we didn't want to enter into the unconscious mind because of what was going to be revealed about ourselves. But really the first reason why we don't want to enter into our mind is because we think there is this punishment waiting for us. And remember, in the second part of Maya's narrative, that is the very reason why we left the unconscious mind, because we were expecting this punishment that was going to be coming from Yama, who was going to come back and, this angry father that was going to come back and attack us for the first attack that we made on him. So that is because of that massive unconscious fear, which has obviously been repressed after this fourth split of this red line, then we're just going to be wanting to stay out of that for no real reason of understanding why, except for having this vague idea that there's some type of punishment waiting for us. And we can see that reflected in our lives with different terms that people use, and in the different ways that we behave, such as throwing other people under the bus, which is a kind of popular term. It's kind of like, well, I don't want to face this angry father, so I'll throw somebody else under the bus and they'll go up and have to face him. So that's what the game comes about. It becomes about being able to stay out of the hot seat. If this is the hot seat where this kind of punishment is coming, and remember that this punishment can't be escaped, because when we get up there, this Yama is so big and powerful that we've got no defense against what the attack that he's going to make on us. So of course we're going to want to stay out of that, because as soon as we're up there, we're basically going to get destroyed. So as I mentioned, because that is all so unconscious, then as soon as it kind of comes up into our awareness, we're quickly going to react and behave in ways that is going to make somebody else take that responsibility for us. So in my own life, I have a funny story about how this happened. So one Christmas time, my brother-in-law were at Christmas lunch, and we thought, oh, we'll go out and we'll have some fun. So our house is, we've got a primary school opposite it, and on the other side of this fence line, a tennis court fence line, is a grass field. So we thought, oh, well, we'll hit some golf balls over there, much like a driving range. So we put down a bit of carpet, and I hit the first golf ball, but the trajectory took off really flat and hit the tube at the top of the fence line. And as soon as it hit, it came ricocheting straight back over my head, and was on target to hit the glass double doors at the front of the house. Thankfully, it just hit the wooden frame, but it made a big noise and crash. And I thought, oh my goodness, someone's going to come out and is going to want to know, why have you done this? What's this? Why have you attacked our own house? So instantaneously, I gave the golf club to my brother-in-law, so I'm shifting the blame straight away, because now it's not going to be me when this angry Yama comes out to find who's made this attack. Now it's my brother-in-law, and now he's going to be the one that has to go and take the hot seat for the crime that I have done. And will I take off and go run off down the kind of out the back to the outhouse to escape, which is all this kind of dynamic of what we've been talking about. But it also reflects, what we think about reality in our own dream, that it is this fragile glass house that can be attacked by, these little golf balls, or in our case, can be attacked by ourselves, this kind of little thought of being an individual. So, as I mentioned, because a dream simply reflects thoughts, then of course we're going to create these situations in our dreams that seem to reflect what this whole kind of setup is in the unconscious mind, that reality is very fragile, that we can make attack on it, that somebody notices the attack and somebody's going to come out and make a response, a return attack for our initial attack. So yeah, so that's a good way to remember that from now on, what the ego game is to keep it out of the unconscious mind because of this fear of punishment. And what we're going to go through as we go through, you know, the various lessons of all the ways of which the ego is able to have defense mechanisms from falling back into, you know, meet his doom, so to speak, in here in the unconscious mind. So yeah, for yourself, just think about all these different times that, you know, you've tried to escape responsibility for something that you've done because of the fear of punishment. And also notice, you know, other people around you in your life, how they're always trying to pass the buck or pass the blame so that they don't get this punishment. And always remember that that punishment is always made up because it's all within Maya's mind. That there is no punishment coming because there is only Satchidananda, which only notices, you know, innocence. That doesn't notice any of this kind of dream attack that Maya has influenced the dreamer to believe he has actually made. So, as always, feel free to keep the conversation going down below, and I'll see you in the next video.